hurricanes, earthquakes, tornadoes, tsunamis. We're familiar with these natural disasters. But for all the death and destruction they cause, they're minuscule compared to the full force of planet Earth. Beneath our feet are what National Geographic calls sleeping giants that stir occasionally, but will someday wake up and roar with unprecedented force. What are these sleeping giants? In a word, supervolcanoes. Supervolcanoes don't erupt often, but when they do, they transform our world. As a geoscience major, I've been fascinated by supervolcanoes for a long time, but I know even more about them after doing research for this speech. Today, we'll first examine the mechanics of supervolcanoes. Second, we'll examine the way they shape our world. And third, we'll look at a supervolcano that's located right here in the United States. Let's begin with the mechanics. Supervolcanoes are the result of massive magma pools beneath the Earth's surface. Magma consists primarily of molten rock. As a 2014 article in the journal Nature Geoscience explains, magma seeps from deep in the Earth into giant chambers in the Earth's crust, where it cools and hardens. Over time, more magma seeps into the chamber and pushes it towards the surface. Over tens of thousands or even millions of years, enough pressure builds to produce a supervolcano. Scientists have created a scale to measure volcanic eruption. It's called the Volcanic Explosivity Index, or VEI, and it's based on the amount of debris that is released into the atmosphere by an eruption. As seen on this chart from the US Geological Survey website, the VEI consists of an 8-step scale. Each step is 10 times more powerful than the preceding step. A supervolcano is up here, at the top, VEI 8. For comparison, the famous eruption of Mount Vesuvius that buried the ancient Roman city of Pompeii in 79 AD is down here, at VEI 5. A supervolcano eruption would be at least 250 times more powerful than Mount Vesuvius. According to science writer Amanda D'Amato, a supervolcano eruption is like 1,000 atomic bombs going off every second. Now that we understand some of the basics of supervolcanoes, let's take a look at the way they've shaped our world. According to the BBC, scientists have identified 15 supervolcanoes. As you can see from this map, most are located in East Asia, North America, and South America. The telltale sign of an ancient supervolcano is a giant crater known as a caldera. The photo you see here is a caldera that is now Lake Toba in Indonesia. The largest volcanic lake in the world, it was created by a super eruption 75,000 years ago. This aerial view from a NASA satellite gives you a sense of the Toba caldera, which is 18 miles wide and 60 miles long. But supervolcanoes don't just affect the immediate area. According to a report on NPR, the amount of ash propelled into the atmosphere by a supervolcano eruption could darken the sky around the world for so long that temperatures decrease by an average of 20 degrees Fahrenheit. A 2017 study in Nature Communications states that supervolcano eruptions can cause earthquakes, landslides, and tsunamis that last for tens of thousands of years. Fortunately, the likelihood of any of us being around for a super eruption is almost non-existent. The last one occurred in New Zealand 26,500 years ago. But there is a supervolcano right here in the United States. It's responsible for this, which I visited last summer. This is Old Faithful, one of 500 geysers at Yellowstone National Park. The park is also home to hundreds of hydrothermal pools, like the one you see here, which is larger than a football field. The geysers and hydrothermal pools of some of the most beautiful sites above ground at Yellowstone. But things are quite different beneath the surface. What's down there? First, there is a large magma chamber, as shown here in a picture from National Geographic. This chamber contains enough magma to fill the Grand Canyon 11 times over. But second, even though this chamber is huge, it's dwarfed in comparison to a giant magma plume that extends more than 20 miles into the Earth. When Yellowstone erupts again, all of this magma will be truly devastating. I say when it erupts again because it has erupted 3 times already. 2.1 million years ago in a large eruption, 1.3 million years ago in a smaller eruption, and 640,000 years ago in a truly massive eruption. According to the US Geological Survey website, this last eruption covered more than half the United States in a layer of ash up to 40 feet deep, from California to the Mississippi River. Geologists agree, it's only a matter of time until Yellowstone erupts again. In this speech, I've tried to inform you about the sleeping giants beneath our feet. Right now, magma is dripping ever so slowly into giant chambers in the Earth. One day, perhaps thousands of years from now, another supervolcano will explode again, changing our world forever. But this is no reason for us to be alarmed today. In fact, to me, it's cause for awe at these sleeping giants and what they can do.